fans, I'm Jason. It is the 16th of November 2017 at time of recording, and you are watching Comical Weekly, my weekly video where I share with you the brand new comics I picked up yesterday on the best day of the week, New Comic Book Day. I picked up 26 books this week plus a back issue, so it was a massive haul. Next week is looking good. It's looking like I'm actually going to have a week where I get less than 20. Like, can you believe the craziness? So that's going to be good. I love my comics, don't get me wrong, and I enjoy them every week. But it is nice to have those shorter weeks, so you've got time to kind of catch up with some reading, or maybe even read other stuff. You know, it's nice to have those shorter weeks occasionally. So let's get down to business. First off, the back issue I picked up, and I don't know why I did this. I should have stayed away from the back issue box. But I was looking through like some of the issues they had, and this book particularly featured a character I've been reading. I've been getting a lot of back issues of lately, and it featured a character in it that I really am intrigued by. So we had Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, issue number 114. But I don't know how well you can see it, but it has Man-Thing in it, and it says Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, co-starring the Deadly Black Widow. The Man-Thing stalks his swamp. Which like I'm all over that. There's so many levels that I love this. That yeah, I'm like I've got to get that and read that. So I picked this up. It was a $5. I'm not sure how that works out in other currencies, but I was happy with that. You know, picking that up. I'm not sure what year it is. 114, so it might be 70s, I think. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a look at that, cracking that open. So now for the books that I bought this week from my pull list. First up, we're going to go indie, and we have from Boom Studios, Met Cadet U, issue number 4. Issue 3 was the best issue yet. I really enjoyed issue 3. And I'm really psyched for what's next because the enemy, the Snarg what they called? They've like war has started again, and last issue ended with one of them crashing to Earth, and our cadets teaming together to kind of stand up to the Snarg when they've been ordered to return to base. I really like this. It so reminds me of a 1980s kids cartoon that I grew up with. I could just imagine this kind of being a Japanese type cartoon that had have bad dubbing on back in the 80s. It just hits that like really nice nostalgic spot, and I really loved it. And like I say, last issue was the best yet, so I'm really psyched for this, and this will be near the top on my reading pile this week. We then have from Image, we have Black Science issue number 33, which I'm way behind on, and also we have Curse Words issue number 10. I'm not as behind on that. I think I've got 3 issues to read, but I really want to get caught up on this because I've been enjoying Curse Words, so I'm going to get up on that. But then from Titan Comics, we have Doctor Who, the 12th Doctor Adventures, Year 3, issue number 9, and it kicks off a brand new story, and it looks like it's going to have our regular TARDIS crew of Bill, the 12th Doctor, and Nardo. So I'm looking forward to that. That looks like it's going to be a good one. I'm very intrigued to see what they do with these characters in this. But then from Valiant, we have Bloodshot Salvation, issue number 3. I've been enjoying this. I like the way that Lemire's writing it, in that like how we have part of the story set in the distant future, in the not so distant future, sorry, and then we have it in modern day, and it's kind of like, how is the modern day going to get to that not so distant future? I'm really intrigued. We have this character here, Rampage, who's kind of like Bloodshot, but we don't know who he is yet. I kind of think he's the character Daddy that we were introduced to last issue. I kind of think it's him, and he somehow finds a way to kill Ray and to take the nanites himself, and it transforms him into Rampage. And that's what I'm thinking. Could be wrong, but we will see. But I'm enjoying this. I always enjoy a bit of Lemire, and I always enjoy Bloodshot, so a nice combo there. Then we have a new number 1 from Valiant this week. It's Ninja K. Usually he's pronounced Ninjak, but this series they've got like the comma, so it's Ninja K. And if what I read in the 0 issue is anything to go by, I think somebody is trying to kill, because like we found out in the comic that like it is Ninja K, and there's all these other ninjas like Ninja A, Ninja B, Ninja C, and all this, and so he's Ninja K, and that somebody from the Zero issue was trying to find out who all of them were, or at least that's my guess, because he was torturing someone for some information, and then he called him by a letter instead of a name, and so I'm thinking that somebody has got a grudge against all of them, and he's going to try and wipe them all out, and that's why this series is called Ninja K. So we'll see. But I like Ninjak. He's a good character. I like it because like I love James Bond movies. I love kung fu movies, and this is what would happen if you combined James Bond with um, a James Bond movie with a kung fu movie, and so like that for me is brilliant. So now moving on to DC. Next up we have Aquaman issue number 30. Way behind on this. If I look at my comics over there, I can see on top of one of the on top I've got Aquaman issue number 9. That's where I'm at. So I'm way behind on this. Really want to catch up with this because I've really been enjoying this. So yeah. So I have to wait a while till I get into that one. We then have Batman issue 35, another book I'm behind on. We have Batwoman issue number 9, which is part 3 of Fear and Loathing, which I've enjoyed it. The first issue of this story, I didn't really quite enjoy it. It was a bit trippy. The second issue I thought was a lot better, so I'm really hoping they continue that upward momentum. And I love that cover. Ain't it a freaky, scary cover there with the needles on her hands? Yeah, that is scary shit. The first book I will read this week is this book. It is Dark Knight's Batman Who Laughs. I've been intrigued with this character since we were introduced to him, so I really want to get to know more about him, so I'm psyched for this one. We then have Green Lanterns issue number 35, which I believe we have a new writer this issue in Tim Seeley, so it'll be interesting to see what he does with Green Lanterns. We have Justice League issue number 33, which has Bats Out of Hell finale, part 4 of this story, which I've enjoyed. The thing with Dark Knight's Metal is each story kind of finishes a bit grim. And like at the moment, the heroes are getting nothing. It's been all the villains. And it's a good way to kind of build the villains. But I'm looking forward to we get to that where the tide starts to turn. Is this going to be it? Because like last issue and the last part of the story, they need to kind of break down the defenses of Cyborg to get this piece of metal from him. And Murder Machine has nearly got his way through. So it's going to be interesting this issue, seeing like Murder Machine and Cyborg go up against each other. And can Cyborg, like, he's the last one. He's the last hope. Superman has fallen. Batman has fallen. Wonder Woman has fallen. Green Lantern has fallen. The Flash has fallen. Aquaman has fallen. The Oblivion Bar has fallen. You know, everybody like that has kind of been there so far has fallen, and we need a bit of hope right now. Can Cyborg be that hope? Can he step up? So I'm psyched for this one as well to see what happens. Mainly because like I'm super like I want to see the turnaround. I want to see the heroes start coming back because it has been just so dark and so grim. It's going to be cool when they do get their comeback. We then have Nightwing issue number 33, which continues Raptor's Revenge. So I'm still a bit behind on this one. We then have Super Sons issue number 10, another book I'm behind on. Speaking of books I'm behind on, we have Superman issue number 35, which I don't know how many issues, but it's this Impervious Rex story. I haven't started it yet, so I need to get caught up on that. We have the Wildstorm issue number 9, which I've been enjoying this. This has been a really good book. It did go through a phase where it was kind of like you wanted answers, and then we just had an issue that was just like loads of answers and kind of clued us in what was what. And so things are a bit clearer now. But I'm liking this, and I'm liking how like as the story goes on, we're kind of peeling back more layers and learning more, not just about this world, but they're also introducing new characters who learn us more about this world. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I think if you like sci-fi, kind of sci-fi superheroes, I think you might like Wildstorm. I think it's worth a try. Now jumping over to Marvel, we have the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 791, the legacy numbering. I'm kind of conflicted when it comes to legacy numbering. on the one hand, I'm kind of like really nostalgic and cool to see those kind of numbers back on Marvel books. But then on the other hand, I'm kind of a bit pissed off because I numbers never bothered me on books. It was kind of the content of the book, and if the book had an interesting story, was what interested me. And I wouldn't hesitate picking a book up if it had something good in it, even if I hadn't been reading it. And kind of, I've now been conditioned to where, because of Marvel's constant renumbering, to where I'm like, oh, has too many issues gone by? What's a good jumping on point for me to get in on this book? This looks good, you know. And I never used to be like that, and it's because of Marvel and how I've been conditioned by their constant, you know, jumping on points and the constant renumbering. And now they're kind of like, oh yeah, you know, numbering don't matter now. And it's like, for all those time, we've kind of got into this new way of thinking, and now you're telling us it don't matter, and that pisses me off a bit. So I'm kind of conflicted with the whole numbering thing, but I'll just soldier on. But I've been enjoying Spider-Man. It's been a bit bleak for Peter Parker, a bit brighter for Spider-Man. So he's kind of trying to be Spider-Man more and Peter Parker less, which is kind of an interesting kind of reversal, because it used to be Spider-Man that would get the abuse, and he could kind of have, you know, a rest from the abuse being Peter Parker. So now it's kind of flipped, and it's going to be interesting long term. Is this going to mean he's going to be Peter Parker less and less, because it's so difficult coping with being Peter Parker right now? So it's going to be interesting, but I've been enjoying this so far. It's been good. Next up, we have the Punisher 218, and this is really intriguing. Punisher War Machine. It's kind of like, what could be more 90s than War Machine? But then you put him with the Punisher, and it just seems to work. It makes sense. It's got one of those ideas you think, why didn't nobody think of this before? So I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to go, because this could be good. This could be a lot of fun. We then have Champions issue number 14, which is part 4 of Worlds Collide, which is a crossover with Avengers and with Champions, which I've not caught up with yet. So I've got to read that. I've got the issues ready to read this week, so hopefully I will get caught up on that. We have Deadpool versus Old Man Logan, issue number 2, which I enjoyed the first issue. First issue was good. I kind of like, I think the characters work well together, because you have the gruff seriousness of Wolverine, but then, of Old Man Logan, but then you have the kind of more comic side of Deadpool. But then now Deadpool's not a hero anymore, so he's a bit different as well. So I kind of think I like the interactions, and I liked the first issue, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where this is going to go. Certainly a good start to the series. We then have Defenders issue number 7, which I've been enjoying this. It's going to be interesting what's going to happen to this is with Bendis leaving Marvel. Who's going to start writing this one? But that'll be interesting. But I've been enjoying that one so far. We have Incredible Hulk issue 710, which I've got the last issue to read. Return to Planet Hulk. I would, if I had the choice, I would rather have my Bruce Banner back, particularly if he's going back to Planet Hulk. But otherwise, you know, I don't really mind. I've not minded Amadeus Cho and as the Hulk, and really, it was that tie-in they did with Weapon X that kind of turned me around. And I coming out of that, I ended up dropping Weapon X and picking up Totally Awesome Hulk instead. I quite like Amadeus Cho. It's a different kind of deal. I would prefer Banner to be back, but you know, I don't think that's going to happen for a while, as it seems they want to go this direction with the younger heroes. So we'll see how it goes. But I've not read this yet. I know we have Greg Land, or artist I'm not a fan of, so I'm intrigued to see what the art is going to be like. This is one of those books I'm not going to give it too long, because Land isn't one of my favorite. I was going to say not one of my favorite artists, but I don't think I like the dude at all. It's nothing personal. It's just his style I don't like. So this may be a book that ends up getting dropped, because it depends how long I can go with the Land art and how good the story can keep going. Because his art does really make it difficult for a writer to kind of get across a good story, because they have to work so much harder, because they know the artist can't carry their part and convey emotions. So Yeah. We then have Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, which seems to be Spider-Man week this week. This is issue 297, as we've kind of now gone on to the legacy numbering. We have Darth Vader, which I'm behind on. This is issue number 8. I think I've got issue 6 and 7 to read, but I'm looking forward to catching up on that. We have the Mighty Force 701, and please say no. Please say it isn't so. Please say they're not going to kill Mjolnir. Oh no. It's not looking good. Not looking good. And then finally, we have XMen Blue, issue number 15, which has part 6 of Mojo Worldwide, which I've got to think is the last part of this story. I haven't read none of these yet. I've got a couple of issues of XMen Blue, and I think I've got one issue of XMen Blue and Gold to catch up on. Then I'll be on to the Mojo Worldwide story. So hopefully, if I have a good week, I may be caught up on all that by next week. So that'd be cool. So those are my books. That's me done for another week. Thank you for joining me and that guide through my books. I still have the habit of to go and tell you like when I'll be back with my next video, but like whenever I do that, it never works out. So all I'm gonna say is I will hopefully be back at some point before next week's Comic Haul Weekly, but I can't promise. But I hopefully will be back with another video. I'm fingers crossed on a review video, but no guarantees. So that's me done then. I hope you all have a great week, chock full with comic book goodness. I've been Jason. You've been watching Comic Haul Weekly. Keep reading, and bye for now.